After yesterday's bombshell Highgrove meeting, the internet, as you can imagine, absolutely exploded, with so many of us reacting in such a strong way that I wanted to do a follow-up video. I called it yesterday a slap in the face, and I stand by that. And I think so many of you agreed, with some incredible and brutal responses. Today, I want to dive into the reactions. There's been a lot on the internet of reactions. There's been some speculation to come out of it that I thought would be interesting to talk about. I want to talk about your reactions to it, more of my reactions to it, just all of it. I want to talk about what everybody else is talking about and how crazy this is and what this could actually symbolize. Was this a warm family moment? Or the desperate duo once again trying to do this power play that came with some serious strings attached? I suspect something like that. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up, and leave me comments, as all of those helps YouTube to recommend my videos. I sincerely appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you. I do have a new episode of What's the Goose Up coming up, so make sure you look for that and leave me comments, as you might also be featured in What's the Goose Up. All right, let's talk about this. So first, I want to address some of the things that have come out since my yesterday video. And it's speculation. At the time of this recording, no other information, official information. And when I say official information, I'm only believing the stuff that came from the palace. I do not believe anything that comes out of People magazine or Harry and Meghan's camp whatsoever. But no more official information has come out. I have heard the rumblings, and I want to talk about those just in case you hadn't heard, so you'll know what people are saying. One thing that's going around, and I believe credit goes to Neil Sean, he is claiming that Meghan actually had to wait outside for the visit. Again, this, we'll say big fat allegedly. I don't know about this, but I think it's interesting, and I think anything is possible. So the speculation going around is that Meghan had to wait outside, that she was sidelined. She wasn't fully welcomed on the inside right away, that Queen Camilla had kept her distance. Whether true or not, it fuels the narrative that this was not the warm embrace, more like a controlled and conditional visit. I suspect something like that. I have no idea if anybody had to wait outside, not that, but I do suspect it's more of a controlled visit. And I brought an interesting theory with me that kind of backs up some of these claims. So I want to talk about that. But also another thing going around that people are talking about is they believe that Harry and Meghan were actually summoned, not so much invited. Now, I think that might be an interesting theory. This was a summit meeting with terms laid out, not a casual family tea. Some say this is the sword of Damocles, so meaning conditions and threat of cutting ties was present. Again, allegedly, I don't know. I think that's an interesting theory. Another thing that people are speculating is how much this is a desperation angle. I tend to fall in this camp, that Harry and Meghan, we'll say allegedly, are failing financially and brand-wise so bad with, you know, everything from this week, from the horrible courtroom stuff to as ever brand struggles and everything in between, right? That there has been, that basically they're so desperate they were willing to agree to any terms just to get in the door and to get royal connection back. So that would time out right in terms of Harry's humiliating, you know, Daily Mail defeat, courtroom defeat, and it makes it look like damage control. So I wonder if it's something like that. The other thing that people are going back and forth about is that is this leaked on purpose? This is my belief, again, we'll say allegedly, is that, again, it's at the time of this recording. So since recording this, there could be leaks, but at the time of this recording, there haven't been. It seems like something that the palace put out, and I believe, it's just my speculation, I wonder if that was a term or condition of meeting, is that the palace got to announce it before Harry and Meghan could do anything of the sort. Again, there are reports of alleged tension on behalf of Queen Camilla. They noticed that people were noting that she potentially maybe steered clear or was not fully on board. I don't know that I believe that, because again, when the palace reported, they reported that she was there as well. But that is one of the things going around. And then the other thing that people are mostly talking about is the way that those two use the kids to try to force the meeting. I do believe something like that. Okay. I thought we could talk about, I wanted to show you something that was posted that I thought was such an interesting point, and I want to show you some of the comments going around. And then I want to get into some of your comments as well. All right, starting with this posted on St. Meghan Markle. I want to give a shout out to Human Economics who posted this. I thought this was such a well thought out post. And she or he brings up such interesting points. I just want to make sure that I give them credit for this idea. Here we go. It was an interesting meeting that King Charles had with Harry and his children. Does it bother me? Yes, it does, because Harry doesn't deserve the gesture from Charles. Does it surprise me? No. I've been following Neil Sean's videos. He has often said that King Charles doesn't want to push Harry over the edge. But if you followed them, you know Sean had already reported that William and Camilla were united on this, and that Camilla was going to be at this meeting no matter what. All right, continuing on, they say, but I'd like to highlight the points that caught my attention. 1, if the wife was at the meeting, do you realize that she had to curtsy to Camilla, that Harry had to bow to Camilla? You might say it was a private meeting, sure, but protocol is protocol. I'd love to believe that's the case. I can't imagine that occurred. Sure, I'd like to believe it though. If the wife was at that meeting, do you realize she was there without a single one of her demands being met? No apologies, no equality with Catherine, nothing. Point 3 is Highgrove. People say Charles's private home. No, Highgrove is Charles' leased home. Highgrove is owned by William. So that meeting there took place with William's knowledge and under William's rules. All right. 4, regarding Highgrove. After Charles and Diana's marriage in 1981, the rooms at Highgrove were decorated by interior designer Dudley Poplick in shades of lime and aquamarine. Later, however, Camilla commissioned decorator Robert Kime to create a different atmosphere. In other words, the Highgrove Harry knew and where Diana once lived is not Highgrove he visited today. 5, William and Catherine were out in public at a polo match, looking very relaxed. So, did William know about this? He knew. He absolutely knew. 6, was this what Harry wanted? Some might say he wanted the meeting, and he got it, yes. But he didn't want the meeting to happen this way. Highgrove is very private, so no motorcades, no flashing police lights, nothing of the sort. At most, a single unmarked vehicle, far, very far away from Chris' ship or any media presence. But more importantly, do you realize the meeting took place after the events to launch Invictus 2027, not beforehand, which is what Harry needed, but at the very end of his trip, just as he was headed back to California. 7, the wife is the one who must be the angriest about this. Charles didn't travel to California to see those children. Charles didn't make the move to see those children. Harry had to handle all the arrangements. Harry was the one who had to request the meeting. Harry was the one who had to beg for the meeting. The wife was there because, of course, she had to be, but she was forced to travel to the UK in total anonymity. No rolling down car windows, no photos, and having to curtsy to Camilla in a house that will never be hers, far away from Windsor, where the royals actually move in the same circles. I thought that was a really good post and really good point. There's a little bit more. I know she will say that Charles will end up, I know people will say that Charles will end up footing the bill for the A&L case. No, there are already indications of what will happen with that bill, and Harry is deep in trouble over it. Will Nicklins' stance change because of this? No. Will A&L's? No. Does William's stance change? If you look at it dispassionately, William placed Harry on his own turf, Wales, in a house that falls under the Duchy of Cornwall, which belongs to William. The wife had to consider the future of Catherine, I think it's supposed to be Catherine and William's children, nothing at Highgrove will go to Harry. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. It's just that all of this caught my attention. I don't see anything casual or last minute here. I actually felt better after reading this post. I want to go back. Hold on. And give another shout out. Human Economics 6894. That is a very well thought out post. Very interesting points. I'm not dare suggesting that I'm just okay with this. I'm not. I made my feelings known in the last video. I stand by them. And you guys made your feelings known. A lot of you are on the same page with me. Some of you aren't, and that's okay. We're allowed to disagree respectfully, right? But I made my feelings known. And anyway, I thought this was a very well thought out post, and it actually did make me feel a little bit better. I think this person is onto something, but I want to read you a lot of the comments under it because there's some interesting points that others have brought up as well that I thought we could take a look at. It didn't make much of an impression on me. A father seeing his son and grandchild privately is normal, but the fact that the king won't agree to his son staying at Buckingham Palace sends a strong signal. I love the thought that Rachel had to admire the beauty of William's estate, had to agree to arrive quietly, curtsy to Camilla, and go without photos. I would have liked to see them. That's funny. No proof that they curtsied. They now have free reign to cook up any old lie about the visit. Sure, they do. They have no credibility with us, but to the low info headline readers, they look like they're back in. That is one of the issues I have with this as well. And I'm showing both sides because I think this, well, and I think both can be true. I think the original poster made an excellent point, but I also agree with this person as well. Chlamydia Champagne. I just realized their username. That's so funny. Okay. That's funny. She might learn what a proper scone is. Now I had to admit that this made me laugh. I was like so pissy about this whole thing, but this made me laugh. I thought that was really a funny point. I hope you're right, original poster, but the timing and the optics of this meeting are still terrible. Agree. And Harry's crushing defeat in the Daily Mail case has been wiped off the front pages by this news that they got the meeting with the king. They will spin this into a victory. I believe so too. But hopefully the only people falling for it are their followers. And they don't seem super happy about it either. I've been diving in the depths of hell, their support pages. And of course, they're making Harry and Meghan the victim and all this, but they don't seem overly happy about it as well. So that's interesting. I'm sorry, but I have to say this is a win for Harry and Meghan, no matter how we take it apart. The optics are all that matter. And anyone outside the sub pays attention to. Meghan got her meeting with the king, despite everything. Harry was a total to the judge and people of the UK. And their king met with this assume immediately after the verdict where he defamed the judge. Nothing will convince me this was wrong. Nothing will convince me this was wrong on so many levels. I also fall on this page. That's an interesting, a great point that this person brings up, that this was on the heels of Harry insulting an officer of the court. So that's something to think about. I don't take that lightly. And I don't think it's good optics to have the king meeting with him right after. That's just my opinion. You can definitely let me know yours. To me, it shows more than everything that no matter the amount of accusations they made against what Charles represents in the royal family, they are cornered and need to come back to him. They desperately need to be linked with the crown. They look pathetic and ridiculous. Agree completely. Same. Was Charles doing this to get the media off Harry's back? The white pill story? I don't believe so. Because I don't think this will do that, if that makes sense. Yes, people that aren't in the know or that just have a casual whatever interest in this might see this as a reconciliation, and that makes me sick too. But I just don't think one negates the other. I don't think people will be like, oh, well, he's back in the fold. It's okay that he gave somebody a pill, allegedly. Oh, it's not good. A lot of people are still talking about that. I'm sickened by it. I don't think it will make any difference to public opinion in the long run. One meeting does not erase the evil things they have done over the last few years. People will not be fooled by this and will not forget. So really, the meeting won't amount to anything in real terms for the Harkles. Again, this is kind of where that I fall too. I don't think I'm frustrated and I don't like the king's decision, but I take solace in the fact that this won't mean anything. Harry will still be on the hook for whatever Harry's on the hook for. He still ran his stupid mouth and made himself look like a fool in court, and post court, and they're still them. They're still the a-holes, right? So I don't think this will change that. I don't love that they met, but this doesn't change that. I do agree with that. I agree. Plus, maybe they'll think twice before pulling some, who am I kidding? Markle will it up. Yeah, I suspect that. Probably, I'm going to predict, because I'm recording this the night before it goes live, so I'm going to predict by the time this goes live, I'm sure they've done something else. And it's always about the optics with the Harkles. They won. Again, that's where I struggle. That's where I struggle. I don't know. I'm amusing myself by imagining that the wife being checked for recording devices and King Charles laying down terms for the meeting. It will kill them not to run to People magazine. I feel confident that they will still figure out a way to run to People magazine and have a source say something about something or tip something in their direction, something. Whether it's not, even if it's not a direct leak, something about speculation of what the meeting was about, even though it won't be what the meeting was about. Don't worry overly much about their longevity. I'm sure People is getting updates as we speak. They'll be from sources. Yep. But we all know who that is. I'm not saying anything that gets reported about the meeting will be true. It won't. But the nasty grifters, yep, will get their own spin out there before King Charles can finish his afternoon tea. I suspect the same thing. I think so too. I wasn't happy about this, but to me, it reveals how desperate those two are. I think they're in trouble, and rightfully so. If the walkabout and Queen Elizabeth II's funeral were any indication, Markle was unhappy and uncomfortable. Good. The whales looked at ease today, and that is a very good sign. I agree. If you missed my last video, go back and watch it, because I show William and Catherine looking lovely and, like they say, at ease at the polo match. So I think that's a good thing for sure. I wanted to show you this one. How long after the meeting before Queen Camilla was on the phone calling Catherine? And then this person said, let's make it a conference call and include Princess Anne, Zara, and Sophie. And can I get on that call, please? Can I be there? Yes, exactly. I love that so much. Yes. Yeah, I thought these comments were great and interesting. I'm still frustrated too. I feel your pain. I know it. You can let me know in the comments if anything has changed for you, if you're feeling, if you're still feeling the ultimate frustration toward King Charles, how you land on this. A lot of you were expressing feelings like that. I do want to read some of your comments. Let's do What's the Goose Up? So I thought I could take a look at some of your comments and talk about what you guys are talking about as well. Be sure to leave me comments and you might be featured in the next episode. So let's start with Silent Viewer. I enjoy your comment. Well, Sweet Girl Loves You. I enjoy your comment. I have a lot like this. If you're a silent viewer, if you want to comment once in a while, I would really appreciate that. I don't know if you know, but some people sometimes will say, I was unsubscribed. Well, that's a thing. It's a fun feature of YouTube that if you don't comment or thumbs up or interact once in a while, it sometimes will unsubscribe you. So if you'll make sure you're subscribed and leave me a comment once in a while, even if it's just a honk, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. The next one, this one is by Surprise Me Cakery. Oh, I like that name. And it says, what lip product are you using in this video? It's perfect on you. Well, that's really nice. So the video that you commented on, I was actually wearing the one I'm wearing today. It's this one, L'Oreal Plump Ambition, and the color is Berry Jolie. It's $4.90, if that helps. Most of the time, and this color is almost the same color, most videos, 99% of the videos, I am wearing this color. It is, I talk about it. I have it in my Amazon links because I love it. It's NYX Butter Gloss, and it's Cranberry Pie. It's That's my go-to color. I have 100 tubes of this thing in every room. It's honestly, it's actually very cheap, and I love the color, and I think it's pretty flattering on most people. So like I've gotten so many people have said in my comments, I bought that. I love it. Buy it. It's great. It's not expensive. It's a great color on a lot of different skin tones and looks fantastic. So that's the one I'm usually wearing. That's what I'm wearing. Thank you for asking. Okay. The next one, this one's from Debbie. Hi, Debbie. I understand, Jen, why on all days did they meet when Prince William had his polo match? That's exactly what I wondered too. They haven't met in years. And why would one day matter? Exactly. Yes. Why couldn't they meet tomorrow? Why did they have to not? I know why Harry and Meghan did it, but why did King Charles agree to meet today? And couldn't they have put out the statement tomorrow? I know, what difference does a day make, but what difference does a day make? Friday was about Prince William, future King William, and his charity polo match. They raised over £1 million for a good cause. Why did the news have to be let out that day? I don't like that. I don't think that's right. Not at all. So, Debbie, thank you. I agree. Why did it have to be put out on the same day? It seems spiteful. Hope the Princess Royal was there as well. Me too. Chin up. You're doing a wonderful job on your channel. Debbie, it's because of comments like yours that keep my chin up. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody who left me such wonderful, lovely, kind messages such as this. I appreciate that very much. All right, let's take a look at the next one. This one is courtesy of Island Girl. Island Girl said, very disappointed. I feel so bad for Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. You're spot on, Jen. Love and hugs. Love and hugs back to you too. Thank you. Yeah, I do. That's who I'm thinking about right now is William and Catherine. As I said in the last video, I understand that Charles, that's his son and that's his grandkids. So there's a human side to that. But I will say, so many of you, I was worried that I would be roasted for saying that. It's truly how I feel. And I tell you how I feel, and that's how I feel. I was afraid that you guys would be a little pissed at me for saying that. But a lot of you said, no, that he needs to, basically, I'm going to butcher it, but basically he needs to separate. If this was a private meeting, which it sounds like it was, as just a person, a grandfather visiting his grandkids, you understand that. But there shouldn't have been any press or publicity around it. He needs to separate the crown royal, the royal aspect out of it and just make it a grandfather meet his grandkids, not more. So I agree with what you're saying. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. This person is Patricia. Patricia says, I just don't know what to think. I can't believe the king is going to overlook all the harm they've done. It just doesn't feel right to me. I'm British, and I don't think Charles is reading the room at the moment. I think their titles and line of succession should be removed. I mean, same page. I totally agree with you. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. He's not reading the room. Yep, I agree. One can only hope that when it's King William and Queen Catherine that, things are different. So yeah, I agree with you. Thank you for that. But that's going to do it for What's the Goose Up. Leave me your comments and you might be featured on an upcoming episode. I promise I wasn't just picking people that agreed with me. A lot of you shared the same sentiment as I did. Some of you didn't, and that's okay. I think there's something to be said about a healthy debate because none of us actually know what's going on. I think we can agree to disagree respectfully, and I think that's mostly what people did in the comments. Some of you didn't even believe that the meeting happened. I get it. I get it. You can't trust anything out of Harry and Meghan. The only reason I tend to believe it is because the palace put out the statement that they had met. That's the only reason. If it had come from anybody else, I would not believe it. And some of you still say, the press is the press. I get it. I get it. So, I get it. I understand why you'd be skeptical. I definitely have a lot of questions and doubts in general. So anyway, that's going to do it for me. I do want you to chime in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on all this. Has your opinion changed? Do you have any more thoughts on this? Do you feel differently than you did when you first heard this? Are you just hearing about this? I mean, chime in with all of it. We'll remain respectful of each other. We can agree to disagree. Some people still don't believe they have kids. That's up to you if you want to believe that or not. Some people don't believe that the meeting happened. Again, your call if you believe that or not, whatever you want to think. I would say let's talk about it in the comments. Let me know. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the love and support. It means the world to me. And I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. As they do more crazy things, I'm here. I'm going to be talking about it. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. I hope you all had the best day. And I can't wait to bring you better news than this. All right. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye-bye. Hello. Oh my gosh. Deep breath. Okay. What are your thoughts? What are we thinking? I stand by what I said. I'm not backtracking on that. I think not a great move on King Charles's part. Don't agree. I said yesterday, I respect him as king, but I don't agree. I don't think it makes him look great. And I think it's a slap in the face to William and Catherine. But I do think this poster made some good points. Maybe there were some in there. Maybe there's, who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I'm still figuring this out. So I might change my mind, and so might you, and we'll figure it out together. That's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. And hopefully I'll bring you some good news soon. All right. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye-bye. Oh, this isn't a necklace today. Look at this. I actually pinned it. It's my headband. I just thought it was like cool as a necklace. What do we think? I just kind of like the way the gold hit. I thought it was kind of neat. It's a green dress, and where it's just kind of solid up top, I thought it was cool as a necklace. So, man, I keep looking at Catherine's arms from that polo match. She looks good, doesn't she? She really does. I'm working out so hard and trying to work on my muscles. And I see her. I'm like, wow, she looks fantastic. And just climb those mountains. She's awesome, isn't she? All right. Take care. Stay healthy. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.